Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you something that I forgot to show you guys in the last video, and that is how to properly aim your headlights. A really important step that I did not show you. And the second thing, while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to replace your eyelid bulbs on your Mercedes Benz. And things to avoid, such as this. So let's go over the basics of a Mercedes Benz headlight. Now this is the C-Class here, so there is going to be no left and right adjustment. And how do you know if you can adjust left and right? Well, first thing you want to do is remove these little Mercedes Benz Christmas trees. You got two of them, and then this whole panel will come right off. This will show you the top of your headlight. Keep in mind my headlights have been opened up since they were modified. But in general, you'll see this completely clean and cocked. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class is anchored on by 3 points. You have point number 1 right here. Then you have point number 2 right there. And then you have point number 3 right around this area behind the bumper. If you have anything higher than the C-Class, your headlight will be able to adjust left and right. And the way you do that is by looking through here. You will see that there is an empty slot. That empty slot is designated for left and right adjustments. So this is an adjustment along the x-axis. Now the way you adjust up and down along the y-axis is from this white Allen key point right here. Now if you look square in the middle of that Allen key point, there is a Phillips adjustment. You don't want to use a Phillips to make this adjustment. You want to use a number 6 Allen key, and you want to make sure that it's chamfered. That way that you don't screw this up for future use to make adjustments. So that is how you make the adjustments on the car itself, just by going to that point right there. So before we go and make those adjustments, let's change out these eyelid bulbs up here. That is the actual number 1 requested item. How do you guys change out these eyelid bulbs? Or maybe you guys bought some off of Amazon like this, and 2 months later they died. I'm going to show you which ones I use, and I actually have now had them for almost close to a year. It will actually be a year in January, and they have not died yet, and they work perfectly fine. And I'm going to show you how to spot ones that will not work on your car like this. So let's go ahead and show you how to access the eyelid section, and I'm going to do it from the passenger side. Obviously the passenger side has more space and it's going to be a lot easier for me to access, but it will show you guys the best way to visualize it and how to feel for what you need to do. And as you guys can see here, I have the camera positioned to show you the angle and how it's going to look like when you guys access that bulb. That bulb is very hard to get to, and sometimes it's best if you see what's going on. But also from this angle, you guys can see right here, this is the way that you adjust the up and down motion. This is another perspective view of that Allen key hole. Now, the eyelid bulbs are actually located right around this area. Right here. There they are. You have one over here, and then you have another one way off over in that direction. So what you want to do is stick your hand in here and twist this open. And there it is with the actual socket open. You guys can see what's going on in there. I'm going to go ahead and take that light and show you. And you can see wires right there, and then right next to it you can actually see the bulb itself. Now as you guys can see, my wires, I went ahead and coated them with Starbright electrical tape. And the reason I did that is because over time those wires do deteriorate, and I wanted to make sure that they stayed working optimally. Now when you go in there to pull it out, you want to firmly grasp it by the base. You do not want to pull it by the wires. This is really good if you guys have a friend with really skinny hands and he can actually get in there and do it. I would not recommend using a set of pliers, because if you guys grab the pliers on too tight, you may actually break the base. So what you want to do is go in here and then firmly grasp the base and pull up. By pull up, I mean pull straight towards the camera. If at first it's a little bit tough, don't worry, it's all going to be like that. But right there, you have the bulb. That's the bulb out of it completely. And as you guys can see, I went ahead and used a Morimoto 194 LED bulb. Now I want you to notice something, that the bulb is not on right now. The bulb is off. This is a functioning correct bulb. So let's go ahead and remove this bulb and then apply one from Amazon, and then you guys will see what's happening. So as you can see, this is the Morimoto 194 LED bulb, and it has lasted a year and it's still going strong. It still gives me that clean white light that we're all looking for in our eyelid bulbs. Now let's go ahead and put one of these from Amazon in there, and you guys are going to see something happen. Now keep in mind, my car is off. It's 100% off. This is the bulb that you'll find on Amazon listed, and it will say it will work on your car or blah blah blah. And what we're going to do is go ahead and plug it in, and you're going to see an immediate red flag. This is really important for you guys. That way you know straight off the bat whether or not you should continue putting them into your eyelids, or you should stop right then and there and return the product. Watch what happens when I plug this in. Just going to plug this little guy in. And look what happens. The bulb automatically starts to illuminate, but it's illuminated really dim. This is telling you that that bulb does not have the correct resistor, and it does not have the correct capacitor in it. So it will throw a fault on your car. This is the type of bulb you do not want to use on your vehicle. Let's go ahead and unplug it and put the Morimoto 194 back in. Just gonna go ahead, grab the Morimoto and just plug it right in. And look at that, straight off the bat, no illumination whatsoever. That is a successful bulb. That's what you want. Now what you can also do is turn on the vehicle at this point, or not turn it on, just set it on to accessory mode and click on your eyelids, and then you'll see it illuminate. That way you can make sure you have the correct orientation of the bulb. I went ahead and switched on the eyelid mode for the car, and look at that bulb. It is clean, it is white. That is exactly what you want. You don't want that yellow color. Well, maybe some of you guys want that yellow color, but I don't want that yellow color. So now we're going to try to install it back into the actual eyelid housing. This is the really hard part, because if you miss, it will feel like you are going incorrectly, but if you miss, you'll actually end up shoving the eyelid bulb underneath the socket, and it will appear in here, and then you will have a whole nightmare of pulling it back out. Like I said, get a buddy with skinny fingers and long hands, and then he can get it right in that position. And also, just don't do it by feel, by looking. Do it by looking actually at this angle, and then you'll be able to see whether or not you're going into the socket. All right. Go ahead. And then listen for a loud click as you hit the correct spot. There you go. That is in the correct spot. Now we can go ahead and close off the cap. Make sure it's on there right. It is, and we're good to go. So there you have it. That is a simple test to see whether or not the LED bulbs you bought online will actually function correctly on your car. So these do not function correctly on my car. The Morimoto 194 perfectly work, and like I said, they're coming up on almost a year and they're still going strong. Now that we have all of the eyelid bulbs changed and we have the new HID lights in, we are going to go and adjust the angle of our headlights. Now remember, you will be needing a number 6 chamfered bit Allen key, and this will be going in just like that. It will go in there just like that, and it will turn right and it will turn left. Now, just so you guys know, if you're looking directly at it from this angle, counterclockwise will be up, clockwise will be down. So as you guys turn it counterclockwise, you're actually pointing the headlight up. If you guys turn it clockwise, you're actually pointing it down. So let's go ahead, get into a parking garage, which is a really great place for you guys to do this, and I'm going to show you how to properly aim your headlights on the Mercedes C-Class. Here we are inside a parking garage. The reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people don't really have garages anymore, and it's kind of difficult to aim your headlights in situations like this, and parking garages are now readily available, so you guys can just drive on up and do your measurements from there. Now, as you guys can see, you want to keep about 3 feet away from the wall. And straight off the bat, if I position the camera like this, you'll notice that my driver's side headlight is much higher than my passenger side headlight. That is a huge no-no. You want to maintain the headlights at a level height. So either the passenger side over on the right is really low, or my driver's side is really high. Now, how do we want to aim them? Well, what you want to do is get about 3 feet from the wall. And then what you're going to need is a piece or multiple pieces of painter's tape. And the reason you're going to need that is because you're going to have to draw your X and Y axis. So let's go ahead and actually measure how high is the headlight from the ground. Make sure you're on a level surface or this will not be accurate. You want to make sure that your X and your Y axis are level with the vehicle. So we're going to measure from the center of the headlight all the way to the ground. Ahead and measured the center of the headlight to the ground, and we are actually 23 inches away. So now what we're going to have to do is measure from the bottom all the way up so we get 23 inches, and we're going to go ahead and mark that spot. Now that you guys have measured 23 inches from the bottom of the wall to the top, you guys can instantly see which headlight is at fault, and it's actually the driver's side. The driver's side is aimed much higher than the passenger side. So we need to go ahead and correct this. So there's going to be a few things that you're going to need to do. First, you're going to move the car back. I know what you guys are thinking, why not correct it right now? Because right now, your angle would be shot only at 3 feet. We want to at least do this from a distance of 25 feet. So 25 feet is actually going to measure out close to all the way about there. Once the car is backed up in that position, we'll be able to correctly adjust our headlights. Now what we're going to be looking for is that intense brightness is going to be our center. So you want to make sure that your headlights are focused on the center, and you do not want to exceed the height of your tape. If you go higher than that, then you know that your headlights are not aimed correctly. So let's go ahead, move the car back, and look at the whole picture again. You guys have the car moved back, you can correctly adjust your headlights. So let's start by lowering the driver's side. Remember, clockwise is down, counterclockwise is up. I'm going to go ahead, as you guys can see, I'm turning it clockwise, and the headlight itself is coming down. We want that focal point to be right about there. And now what we're going to do is take our passenger side and raise it up just a hair. So there you go. Right now, visually, they look centered. And what we're going to do now is move the vehicle back forward, and we're just going to verify that the focal points are still in the centered position. You guys can see the headlights now are centered evenly, so you don't have to worry about blinding people down the road. Everything is working correctly and the height is at the correct height. So that is how easy is it to fix the headlights. So there you have it. That is how easy it is to adjust the headlights on the Mercedes C-Class. Now remember, if you guys have a C, anything higher than a C-Class, you will have a left and right adjustment. So that center focal point is actually going to be really far to the left or really far to the right. In this case, with the C-Class, it's just as easy as going up and down. Now remember, before you guys leave the parking garage, just take the blue tape down so people don't question what is it that you're doing. And there you go, guys. From the inside of the car, the headlights are perfectly leveled. And that is what you guys want. You do not want to be blinding people on the road. Now, if you did end up getting the 55-watt HID system, you do want to point them about a half an inch to an inch lower, because they will be that much brighter. The 35-watt system is actually going to be as bright as most modern cars on the road. So as long as you guys have that inside your mind and you guys adjust it correctly, you should not have people flashing your headlights at you, and you should not have to get pulled over for your headlights blinding other people. So there you go. That is how you guys adjust your headlights on your Mercedes Benz C-Class. If you guys found this video to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That way it lets me know that you guys thought it was helpful. And if you guys like the content of this video and you guys are interested in more modifications to the Mercedes Benz, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of the community. And yes, product reviews will be coming back. I do have a lot of products that I will be reviewing in 2018, and I'm just lining them up right now to see which ones will go first. And as you guys can see, there is a baby seat in the back of my car. I will be a dad in January of 2018, so there may be a few days there that I may not be available, but I will be back to doing this in no time. And of course, I will review that baby seat if you guys want it, but I've quickly come to realize that the Mercedes Benz C-Class with a stroller in the back has zero trunk space. So I think at the end of this year, I may be getting a bigger car. And if you guys have any suggestions, maybe you guys think it's time for me to move away from Team Mercedes and go to another brand, let me know in the comments below. If you guys think I should stick with Team Mercedes and you guys think I should get a bigger one, let me know. Who knows? I am very familiar with Mercedes, so working on them is pretty easy for me, but I am always open to change if need be. I did want to get the A-Class, but the A-Class, there's no way that thing is going to fit in my lifestyle. That thing is too small. So with that being said, guys, take care, have a happy new year, and I'll see you guys in 2018. That is how you adjust the headlights on the Mercedes Benz C-Class. I hope you guys found this video to be somewhat useful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. That way it lets me know that yes, you guys did find it useful. And my wife is calling me. Yes.